Hello, Wagwan, beautiful people, Sawadika, Konsoy. Listen, today in this video, I wanted to share with you guys some benefit information that can possibly help you in your move abroad. Okay, so there are some benefits that you may be eligible for when working with an employer, let's say a W-2 employer, okay? Let me just turn this here. There are some benefits that you may be entitled to when working with a W-2 employer, or if you plan on working, let's say remotely with a W-2 employer, and you're thinking about moving abroad. You may think, oh, these benefits may not pertain to you because you will be living in a foreign country. When I say a foreign country, meaning outside of the US. Specifically in today's video, I want to talk to you about the FSA, and I'll probably touch a little bit into the HSA and like 401k, but let me just touch on the FSA, which is a flexible spending account. If you've ever worked with a W-2 employer and it's time to elect, your benefits, opt into health insurance, opt into 401k, optional life insurance, different things like that, you may come across FSA, which is the flexible spending account, which basically allows you to allot money aside for things like child dependent care, some vision care, some dental care, some health care, or they may classify that specifically for HSA, health savings plan, right? Or healthcare FSA for like health care and vision. But specifically for this video, I want to talk about the childcare plan. So let's say you're planning on moving abroad with children, and you're wondering if this FSA plan may work for you. I'm here to tell you that it can, okay? So I'm going to break this down a bit for you. So you may think that this FSA, flexible spending dependent care allotment may only work inside of the US, but I'm here to tell you that it can work overseas as well. You just need to submit a simple form template, which by the way, I will leave a template below that you can use to submit yours. It's very easy. When you go to submit it, you will just submit your dependent care information. So let's say they have a visa information in whatever country, maybe their passport information, as well as this template, basically saying you pay them this amount, different things like that. Again, I will leave the form for you that you can download for free. Okay, this is something that we personally have used in the past to get refunded. The FSA is not usually a lot of money, it's not usually thousands of dollars. There's a max, okay, that you are allotted per year, a max that you can put on into this account per year. But it is still helpful if you have children and you plan on hiring dependent care. Okay, and we did not realize that this is something that we could do until last minute. We were like, oh, let's submit it, let's give it a try. And, this is something that they approved. Okay, so I know this to be true. This is not something that I'm just here making up. You can also file this FSA and get that reimbursement, even if you are abroad getting childcare. Okay. Again, I will leave that template for you below that you can just put in your information, your childcare provider's information, and submit it to your FSA company, okay, and get those few dollars back. All right. Now, that is one thing. The other thing that I want to mention is this. If you plan on moving abroad and you work with, let's say, a W-2 company that offers, let's say they offer health insurance, okay? My suggestion, especially if you plan on moving abroad or living abroad for a while, a few months, a year, especially at least at a minimum, don't worry about opting into the health insurance because it's going to be hundreds of dollars, okay? Unless you work with a special company and they do a lot of subsidies, and you're probably going to be paying maybe $30, less than $100. I don't know what company right now, that's doing that. Typically, you're going to pay hundreds of dollars, even as a single person. Not to mention, if you are someone with children, it's going to be hundreds of dollars just for health insurance. And even though you may say, well, I can use some of these health insurance abroad. Like, for example, there are some health insurance companies in the US that you may be able to utilize abroad. That is true. However, my suggestion is to just go with an international health care plan. You will be saving hundreds of dollars. For example, I'm going to tell you why, by the way. I'm going to actually share the financial benefit outside of what you will be saving. Okay, because there are some companies who will say, okay, if you opt out of our health insurance benefit, then we will put that additional money into like your 401k. Let me get back into that into a second, okay? But let me just tell you why it makes sense to just get a separate international health insurance for living abroad instead. Okay, like I said before, number one, you'll be saving lots of money. For example, SafetyWing. Okay, we have actually utilized SafetyWing for over a year now. SafetyWing has two different plans. Well, they have two main plans: a digital nomad plan, and they also have a complete plan, especially if you are planning on living abroad for a while, you're planning on being a long-term expat. It is best to get the complete plan. It covers maternity care. Okay, so if you're going to deliver at a hospital, postpartum, prenatal care, cancer treatments, emergency travel and medical expenses, death, emergency travel due to death, different things like that. They cover an extensive amount of things for their complete plan for only around like $150. Okay, things may change, but at the time of making this video, it is around that per person, and it covers also a younger dependent, like a minor. So it is so worth it versus paying $500, $600, $700 for your health insurance with your job. Now, there are some companies who will say, and again, I know this to be true, okay? I have people close to me who have this benefit, okay, and who have been able to take advantage of this. There are some companies out there who say, if you opt out of our health insurance package, because there's some companies who they offer they subsidize a lot, right? They put a lot towards your health insurance plan. And there are some companies who will say, if you opt out of that, then that extra money that we typically would help you with towards your health insurance, we will put that money inside of your 401k. Now listen, you guys, I am not talking about a match. I'm not talking about the typical 3% to 6% match that some companies typically do. In addition to that, I'm talking about additional money if you decline another type of coverage like their health insurance coverage. That money will be allotted to your 401k and other benefits, programs that you choose for it to be allotted to. Maybe you can say, I want this amount to go to my HSA, and then I want the difference, because the HSA, they'll usually have a limit, maybe 2K, 3K, something like that, 4K, depends on the company. It really depends, or it depends on what the IRS is doing. And they'll say, this is the max that you can do for an HSA. And then the rest will go towards your 401k. That is literally free money right there. So if you have a company, if you are going to work with a company, or you are working with a company that offers this, my suggestion is, you do what's best for you, right? But definitely weigh all the pros and the cons, do the research, do the math, and see what makes sense for you and your family. Now, not every company offers this. Some companies say, okay, good for you. You don't want our health insurance plan, or you don't want to get health insurance through us, through our company, through our marketplace. Fine. nothing extra goes towards anything. Okay, we will still do our 3% or 6% match, and that's it. Like, for example, when I used to be a Delta flight attendant, right? I opted not to have my health insurance through them because I was also a service member. I was in the United States Air Force Reserves, and I decided to just continue with my military health insurance instead of taking health insurance from Delta. Nothing changed. Okay, they continued to match my 401k contributions, which was, they actually did pretty well. I think they were doing like up to 6% or something crazy like that. They were pretty good with that, but that's beside the point. It was the same. I'm talking about a different type of program where some companies are like, if you don't opt into our health insurance or health insurance through us, that extra money that we would have put towards your health insurance plan can go towards your 401k. So please look into that, okay? So I just wanted to pop in here because my husband reminded me. He was like, you need to tell people about this type of benefit, especially for moms, families who are planning on moving abroad. So if you are working with a W-2 employer, okay, that offers these benefits, look thoroughly into it. Look to see if you can contribute to that FSA, and if you can, contribute to it and get that refund back before the end of the year. If they offer an additional match, I won't say additional match, but if they offer to fund your 401k additionally because you opted out of their, like, let's say health insurance, look into that, okay? Look into the nomadic or look into the international health insurances. See what it costs for you and your family. See the benefits, see what you get, and compare that to what it would cost if you opted into your employer's health insurance, okay? I hope that this video was helpful. I hope it made sense. I hope it was clear. And again, if you are planning on moving abroad, if you are planning on living abroad, and you have children, okay, definitely check out the FSA. Actually, regardless of whether or not you have children, you can use this for like vision care and some like dental care as well. But you can just read your employer's policy. So just check out that template below, especially for the child dependent care. If you are wondering, okay, what document you need to submit in order to get that refund back for any child dependent care, okay? If you are new here, hi, hello again, wagwan, sawadika, I'm Shai Vivya, and on this channel, I am sharing life abroad, living abroad, my journey, okay? Living abroad with my family, sharing business perspective, global living perspective, okay, on living abroad and moving abroad, and just traveling international, doing international business, all right? So if this is of interest to you, be sure that you are subscribed to the channel, like this video, leave a comment, leave a question. And if you want to see more content like this from me, be sure to like as well, leave a comment below, okay? Let me know what you thought of this video, and let me know if you plan on moving abroad, where are you planning on going, and what type of video you may want to see from me next. Until next time, beautiful people. Bye.